today's episode, I want to talk to you guys about diversity in the industry. Not just from a modelling standpoint, not just from a styling standpoint, but from the industry in total, across the whole business. I'm a big advocate in having lots of different people from different backgrounds, having their input, having their say and being involved. And I want to work out why this industry still isn't as diverse as it could be. I think we very much like throw the odd black model on the cover or Asian model on the cover, and we sort of were like, look, we're diverse. But really, there's more to this. I think we're moving at a very slow pace. And why is that? Do people feel like they can't talk about it because they don't want to hinder their career and they don't want that big like R word racism to be said? So they're kind of like, I'm not getting involved, I'm not saying anything. Or do they feel like it's just not that big a problem? Or do they feel like we are growing, so we don't need to keep yelling and shouting about it? So later I'm going to talk to Naomi Mdudu, who is the editor and owner of the Lifestyle Edit, because we've always talked about this and we've always thought, why is this a thing? See what she has to say, and then work out how to move forward. So let's hear from her. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I really want to talk to you about diversity in the industry. We've had this conversation plenty of times, and we were always a bit like, yeah, it's interesting. No one's really speaking about it. We kind of want to speak about it, and I just think you're the perfect person for this.
Okay.
So the first thing I want to know, obviously, is who are you, what do you do, and your background, your heritage.
Okay. So my name's Naomi Mdudu. I run a lifestyle website called The Lifestyle Edit. I am South African heritage. Instead of doing hard letter law, I went to SOAS, which I absolutely love, School of Oriental and African Studies. So I learned a lot about women's rights in, sub-Saharan Africa was something that I focused on. Absolutely loved it. I later joined the team at Metro as a fashion editor there. So I really wanted to create a place that kind of bridged the two and touched on all of those kind of lifestyle touch points. So that's what I do now.
We had a great conversation the other day when we were just like, how many people in this industry are actually of a different ethnic race than what we know? And we were like, a handful?
Yeah.
2 handfuls? Yeah. And I was like, we need to speak up. Or is it a hindrance to speak up? Because then people are like, oh, it's the big R word, no one wants to say the word racism. And at no point did we say the industry is racist, but we are saying there's a lack of diversity. Do you feel like that in a sense needs to be challenged, or do you think it would be a hindrance to us to challenge it? Because we are.
I think first of all, there is an extreme lack of diversity in the industry. So the key thing there is about visibility.
Okay.
When I was starting in this industry, there was nobody that looked like me. There was nobody.
Me either, and you probably started before me, and I'm still like, where are they?
There was nobody that looked like me. So again, for so many people, before you get into the industry, people will dismiss it because they'll be like, oh no, I'm an ethnic minority, that's not a career for me, because you don't see anyone else that looks like you. A very prominent editor recently said that there is no issue because X, Y, and Z are in the industry, and I just thought, how crazy is that? The fact that you can count how many black people are there is a problem.
Just the models. When we talked about it, publishing and editorial-wise, we named like 6 people.
Yeah. I think what's been really exciting for me anyway is that you're having really incredible people who have either been former editors or even celebrities who have kind of worked in that fashion space, realize actually there aren't that many opportunities for me. So rather than trying to penetrate an industry that doesn't seem to want to embrace me, I'm going to start my own opportunity. And it's like, okay, you're not going to include us, we'll create our own party.
We'll create our own space.
Exactly.
But, and this is my issue with this, when that happens, do we create a bigger diversity?
No, not at all, because I think it's not a we've created our own party, you can't sit with us. It's like, come and join.
This isn't a Mean Girls thing.
Yeah, it's not a Mean Girls thing.
You're saying,
it's like, come and join.
Come to our party.
Yeah, you can come to our party. That's the difference between your party and our party.
We're not allowed in your party, but
you're allowed in ours. Yeah. As black women, we're often our biggest saboteurs. Now we're having this whole black girl magic, female support, but for a very long time, that one black girl who gets in, it's like, don't think you're coming up behind me, because I'm that one black girl. So they will interview you and will not give it to you because they feel like
They've got token space.
the token space is already gone.
Which is what we feel needs to happen when we are, like, when you started your website and I was like, I'm going to tell her, I'm going to tell her this is an amazing website, and it should always be that thing where we push for each other.
Definitely.
As well as making sure that other people push for us. But as you say with the Black Girl Magic thing, and it's like cool to be a black girl right now, do you think being black comes in and out of fashion? Do you think, I hate to say their name, but the Kardashians have made it cool to be black?
It's about what appeals to the masses. And does it have that mass appeal? Is it going to be something that middle America is going to get?
If you aren't black?
If you are black. So if the Kardashians all of a sudden are rocking cornrows and
cool.
have big lips and whatever, then it's the features, but on a face that's easier to deal with than
actually super black girl.
Exactly.
You know, partly have sort of like embraced being curvy, having curly hair, and all those things. Like, it almost makes other people a bit like, oh, she's now pretending to be black, and I'm kind of like, I was always that girl.
Yeah.
I'm just like it's okay for me to embrace it, but I don't want you to feel like awkward about me embracing it.
I think it's a really interesting thing. I think especially if you're a black woman who's grown up in a place that it's not where your heritage is. People making your blackness or your difference exotic or fetishism, like, oh my god, your surname is the coolest thing ever.
I'll get that as well. Wiz Khalifa's ruined my life.
Oh my god, like your hair amazing clean. It's like, you know, even you saying, oh, actually, I'm not straightening my hair anymore. I'm just gonna wear it curly, and I'm like, go black girl with your natural hair. Like,
is it our job to diversify and sort of make it a message and be like, it's okay for us to be here? Or as you said, because you can go off and do your own thing now and like everyone can create their own voice, does that mean that everyone just goes off and disperses and does their own thing and we're not actually trying to like pull together? Because I don't want to be looked at as like an activist who's like out to promote black people. That's not the point. The point is just to say like this maybe needs to sort of be less of a thing actually.
Yeah, I think it's a tricky one. I remember, like, earlier on in my career, I was always really scared about talking about some of the things that I believe in because, you know, you don't want to piss people off. You don't
alienate yourself.
You don't want to alienate yourself. And the same way, a big part of my identity is being a woman. A big part of my identity is being a black woman. Yeah. So I feel like in setting up my own business, I don't have to do that delicate dancing act. I have a level of autonomy that if I was in one of those institutions, I wouldn't.
But my issue is, like, what if I did just want to be editor-in-chief of a magazine? Or what if I did want to be...
Well, you need to be real about the situation.
Yes. But that's the problem.
Yeah.
So I have to be real to know that I need to do something different.
Put yourself in a position where your voice will be heard.
Part of me is just a bit like, does anyone want to listen, or are they just too scared of the racism part being used? And because of that word, it creates this thing of like, let's just make sure we've covered bases. We have a black editor, we have, you know, a couple of black models every issue, we have this, we have that. We've covered it, let's not talk about it anymore. Because that's kind of what we do in fashion. We bring up a topic, every fashion week it comes up. There's not enough bottles in the camel. We talk about it, everyone makes a song and dance about it, and then let's just move on.
I don't think it's that people are afraid of being racist. I think people are afraid of making people feel uncomfortable. Black Lives Matter and the controversy that came with that, it wasn't because people thought people were being racist necessarily. It was that the whole issue of race just generally makes people feel uncomfortable. Okay.
So this is the thing. I think in the end, if what we're saying in this whole thing is, even though there is, of course, there's a diversity issue, there will always be, it will continue, hopefully progress. It is still our responsibility as well that as women of a certain position, in a certain power, now that we've grown into the industry, that we can sort of put it to the table and be like, let's talk about this. And let's not be worried that someone's going to be like, she's like the crazy black girl that's like saying too much.
Yeah.
And it's just about saying it in a way that doesn't make people feel like they can't be part of the conversation, no matter what race or what ethnic background they're from.
Exactly.
There we go then.
There we go.
That's the conversation. So guys, thanks for joining us today. I think to round up this topic that I had with lovely Naomi is that the missing voices in this is maybe us. I think we don't need to go into the industry and yell about it and be like, it's not diverse enough, we aren't doing enough. Because really, it's moving ever so slowly, but maybe we, as people who are in the industry, now that we can pull up a chair and have our say, maybe we should have our say. And maybe we don't go in being all like catty and fiery and like Black Lives Matter and, you know, make it really intense. I think we definitely need to move forward with it, and I think from our conversation that we just had, there is room. Use our voices, use them well, and see what we can do. Also, remember to subscribe and like my channel, here and here and here, whatever it's going to be, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye!